Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I got another video all about baling. So we're going to get this combine unloaded. We're going to bring the grain back home, and then we're going to head on over to the store and go see what we got for tools. It's baling day at my farm, and I can't wait to get started. So we're at the store here, and I'm going to show you guys what I've got for equipment. First off, we have our windrower. We'll be using that to rake our swats together, make bigger swats. We got a round baler. We've got a hay wagon, just a simple single axle wagon. We have the old square baler, and we have the new square baler. We've got a square bale stacker. We have a round bale auto load wagon and a square bale auto load wagon, and we have two mystery wagons that I'll show you guys in a minute. We'll just bring that equipment on down to the field and get right to work with our baling. I'll see you in the next clip. Let's see if our little 135 can pull it. No, insufficient power available. Oh well, we tried. I guess we won't be using the 130. Jumping up from our 45 horse 135 Massey, we're now with our 699, which has 95 horsepower. This should definitely do the trick for us. We're going to be using our round baler first. Now these bales are about 4,000 kgs, so right there we had to stop and back up just a bit so we don't overrun our swat there. I usually don't stop in time, so I always had to back up just a couple feet so that I can catch the swat when I pull out again. So we're getting roughly, I should say, 1 3/4 bale out of each line. I should probably clarify that should be 4,000 pounds, not 4,000 kilos. 4,000 kilo would be one massive heavy bale. I don't think a lot of tractors will be able to lift it. So sorry about that. That's 4,000 pounds. Now baling every single one of these swats would take a lot of time. So what I'm proposing to do is grab our windrower and let's rake 3 rows all into one. This way we should be able to save 3 times the work, in theory here. So we'll just drop down the windrower, get that all started up, and let's see if we can't minimize a bit of extra baling time. I've got my little 20D Massey hooked up to it. As you can see, my worker is cruising along the field at a good speed. So we'll get this thing all raked together in short order. And it looks like I might have said something a little too early. Going uphill, that tractor is not doing so well. Only about 2 clicks an hour. But then again, can't really blame it. It's only about 47 horse, so I think we're actually gonna stall out. If I'm not wrong, we're gonna stall out. It's not looking too convincing here. I do love the tractor though. It's a nice looking piece of tractor, and love to have one of those of my own someday. But for the job at hand, it's just not quite big enough. So we'll go get a different tractor. Let's get something a little bigger. Yeah, there we are. Back to 95 horse. You can see now we're really booking it. So how about a little in-cab perspective? Let's look behind us, see how this rake is actually working. And we can see that we got 3 rows all pushing together into one. So we'll take a look at the right side there. You can see it's picking up the 1 row. And we'll turn over to the front. And this time we don't have a row underneath us, so this time we'll only be doing 2 rows, I guess. There on the left we see the other row, and this could be where two different combines didn't mesh very well. One of them had a bigger header than the other, and that's what happens. So moving on here, we have our old square baler, and we're gonna try this out. Now with the round balers we always had to stop and unload the bale, but with the square balers we don't have to do that. They have that long chute at the end where they just kind of roll off, so it makes it a lot nicer. It's a lot more efficient. We're starting to see that first bale emerge. So actually there's probably almost 3 bales in there. So there we go. Dropped the first one. We didn't have to stop at all. It was just constant movement forward. And there's 2 bales. And this cycle will continue as long as we keep driving. Really is nice. Sure beats having to stop, back up a little, and then you know, unload, close the baler, go forward. Now I'm sure you've noticed that since we've raked these up, the bales are coming out quite fast. Like there's 3 rows all being raked together in one, so our swats are much denser, much higher, and it definitely works in our favor. Let's try that new baler next. So here we have the newer baler, single axle. It's not a dual like a lot of these Crones or Heston balers would be. Now this will be making the same size bales as the old one, so I'm not sure, other than aesthetics, what the point would be in buying a new one versus an old one, unless you just like the look of the new one. Both of them offer a hitch at the back end, although I have not yet figured out what the hitch is used for on both of these balers, because usually a bale will jam up underneath a wagon if you try to hook up a wagon to it. The next task at hand is loading our bales. Now we got a couple of options here. We have the bale spear on the yellow tractor. We've got a bale grapple on that center tractor. And we also have the extended bale spear, capable of carrying 3 bales, on the tractor to our left. Now I'll show you what each of these does, but we're going to start off with the little yellow tractor and grab some bales with this. So we're going to start by picking up a bale here with our little 20D. It looks like I accidentally grabbed 2 there. Well, let's separate that and let's just get 1 for now. As you can tell, the bale is quite heavy because that tractor is spinning a fair bit. This is probably the max weight that tractor can handle without having a counterbalance on it. It looks like I'm bumping that bale there for a sec, so we're going to back up and give her another go. Now, I'm not a big fan of stacking bales in this way because, quite honestly, I'm not good at it, as you can see. I only loaded 4 bales on this wagon toward the end of the video, and it probably took me about a half hour of gameplay. So that kind of tells you how bad I am. But it's okay. I still had fun. We're going to give this bale grapple a try. This grapple would normally be used for wrapped bales. So if you wrap them on plastic, we're using them for silage. But just for the purpose of testing, we're going to try it today on just a regular net wrap bale. As you can see, I am not the most proficient. And handling them along the ends is not really smart, so I figured I'd probably flip it on its end and grab it from the sides, figuring that would probably be easier to handle, and I think that's the way these grapples are designed to be used anyway. So skipping ahead to after I finally grabbed it, I'm coming to the wagon now, and we're going to try to drop that on there. Now, I like having things nice and tidy, so I'm going to make an attempt at placing it just right. And as we all know, that's a lot harder than you would imagine. Long story short, about another half hour later, I finally have 4 bales on there. And they look like an awful mess. But it's alright. It is only for the test, right? Moving on to our square bales. Let's see how our little yellow tractor handles these square bales. These are also 4,000 pounds apiece, so same as the round bales, but it looks like it's doing alright. I mean, you have a bit of a lower load, and it's spread out a lot wider, so that could contribute to a tiny bit more balance on the tractor here. We're going to be using the same wagon, and we're going to try to load some square bales on this wagon here. And again, we're aiming for proficiency, and we're also aiming for tidiness. I like having everything stacked nice and neat, you know, kind of like Lego. Right about there should be good. We'll just pull the forks out, and let's try a double now. This should be interesting because before we were spinning with a single round bale, so this should in reality only be about 8,000 pounds, so it's double what the round bale was. See if we have no, I was wrong. We need ballast, that's for sure. We're not going anywhere like this. So it looks like I'm gonna have to get myself a rear counterweight, and we'll go grab that in the next clip. So we're back with our counterweight, and we've got 2 bales loaded up here. We're gonna give this a go and see how we do. The counterweight is definitely helping. That right there is about 2,400 kg, I believe. It is a Massey weight, so I'm not sure, but it was marked at 2,400, whatever it is. So I'm just trying to get this nice and straight, and I'm gonna put that on top of that other bale there. Right about there, straight. But I'm seeing a lot of tilt there on the wagon, so I forgot safety lesson number 1 when loading bales. You gotta even them out. You can't just load one side, otherwise the whole wagon flips. So let's put these 2 on the other side. Seeing as it's the higher side, it should work for us. Yeah guys, you have to remember that when you're loading a wagon, you gotta load from side to side. Otherwise, you could easily flip your wagon over. We're going to try this grapple next. I know it's not designed for a square bale or rectangle bale, and we can see it's definitely not working. So if we grab it from the end, we are able to pick this thing up, but you'd have one hard time loading it. So for cattle it's okay. We're going to move on now to our bigger bale spear. This one is capable of handling 3 bales at a time, so should be better for stacking. Now, I did notice a glitch while playing with it. It's supposed to have a mast hydraulic, which didn't work. The forks pulled right through a bale, so that's something I need to figure out yet. But there you can see we've stacked 2 bales, and it's quite time consuming. So in my next video, there's going to be a part 2 to this baling video. I'm going to show you guys some time saving techniques. Now even my loading here leaves much to be desired, let's just say. So I'm going to fast forward that a little bit so we don't waste 10 minutes of your life watching me try to load a bale. Even now it's enough in there so that you can see that I struggle. So I've gone and got myself a few of the self-loading wagons that I'll be exploring in the next video. And we will see how those improve your efficiency by very far. It is almost painful to watch me work on with the loader. Now in real life I'm sure I could do better. In fact, I do know I can, but trying to translate real life experience to joystick experience is not always a successful endeavor. I will see you guys in part 2 of my baling video. Thanks for watching.